God damn. Oh. Get back here, goddammit. Someone grab him.
Hey, I don't want to freak nobody out or no thing like that, man, but I see the bus driver has devil horns, man. We gotta get off this bus, man. I never can drive the bus. The bus is gonna crash, man. Excuse me, do you know what the next stop is?
Oh man, and you wonder why you wonder why people don't want to ride on the bus. Speaking of, Chicago woman set on fire during argument on CTA train. Police say so. Yeah. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome aboard on this ride here on the American Rail Club. Oh boy. Oh boy, do we have some? Hope you guys like that that clip there from Smiling Friends. I absolutely love that show. I hope you guys are having a good day. So last week I think Trump sunk his battleship. That was one of the biggest you fell for it awards that anybody who still, I mean, that was anyway. By the way, yeah, it's like being on the CTA right now. This is like going into like some sort of PvP server over here. Like you just never know. You're gonna go against Farquarius the Firebender. His effect, this creature affects fire, burn effect on its opponents. Yeah, that's Chicago right now. Welcome to the PvP server on the CTA. I like the comments over here. We'll probably learn that the police kept arresting the offender and so-called justice system kept releasing him. Yeah, look, people are not, we've already said this over and over again, people are not going to be driving on or riding on American public transit, because this is a view of American public transit. This is the accepted view of American public. Look, you have a Stabby McStabby right over there. There you go. See? Yeah, so that's the view. Anyway, things are gonna get like I said, things are gonna get worse before they get worse, because Trump, bruh. This is what he said this week. And this was extremely upsetting. I didn't see this until after last week's stream. Last week's stream was nice. We had a pretty nice time. Went out and saw the Northern Lights for the first time because we had a pretty crazy event. By the way, we went from basically snowing in near 24 degrees to 70 degrees on the weekend. So who'd have thunk? But Trump. Well, let's let Trump speak. And you tell me how you feel about this.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean,
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands.
All right. Rage warning over here. Rage warning, because we've been talking about this for at least more than years, but like it's really now become a big talking point since a certain someone on a certain Christmas day last year decided to go ahead and go full bonkers and out himself out. Vivek Ramaswamy. But anyway, look at what he says here.
I agree, but you also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't.
We don't have talent. Sorry, Americans, you don't have talent. Sorry, we don't have talent. We just don't have talent. Sorry, it's globalism, not nationalism. Sorry, you have to take the big. You fell for it again. They just keep falling for it. They keep falling for it. Just the same, such low energy. They keep falling for it. I never meant globalism, not nationalism. Will be our credo. That's what it'll be. Let me see if you guys can hear the clip again. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
You don't have certain talents.
There we go.
And people have to learn. You can't.
People have to learn. What are the universities for? What are the university scores? Or what are the trade schools for? What is all that for? So wait. We have to. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. But anyway, the comments have been quite wild this weekend, and a lot of this episode is going to focus in a lot of the same. What sort of America do we want? What sort of America do we want? And we're going to make the answer very clear here. And if you guys who are listening to this and know who've been listening to this, you know exactly what type of America we want. Okay? Because a lot of you came in when we did that little dark age of American infrastructure. That's the type of America we want back. Okay? And if we're not going back to that, we're going to have to fight forward for that at this point, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. Look, TLDR, before we get into it, because there is going to be a good ending from this. No matter what happens, this doesn't change what our purpose is in this club. Our club here is making America's railroads great again. Both freight rail, passenger rail, the whole entire rail infrastructure, and that goes to the whole infrastructure of a country as a whole. Because if we don't have an infrastructure, we don't have a backbone, we don't have an industrial economy. You can complain all you want, the industrial economy, so the industrial society has been, yeah, okay, Ted, we got it. I get it. Perfectly fine. I would love to go live in the woods with my wife and kid and fine. But that's not reality. It's not pragmatic for this country. This country does the best when it has the most amount of options for its native population, its native son, for Americans. That's just what it is. Okay? And this sort of rhetoric from the president is extremely disheartening, backstabbing, and then to say this. So wait a second. We can't train you. You don't have talent. But the institutions that are meant to train you and give you the sort of talent, they give you the diploma. You go into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some people go into hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt for I don't know what, bro. But most of us are, give or take between 10 to 50, even 60, 70, whatever. People are in tens of thousands of dollars in debt because they have, and unfortunately so, fell for the lie that was perpetuated by a system that says you have to go to college or else you won't be able to have a living wage. It was pushed upon you since you got into kindergarten. It was pushed upon you by every single authority figure around you available. And then when you got there, and then when you got out of college, no jobs. No job. We have the most amount of young men in this country that are either unemployed or underemployed. But yet Trump in the same interview, the same disastrous interview that he has with Laura Ingraham, what does he say? The same institutions to bail out these same institutions that I guess supposedly you're not talented. We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have certain talents, and
we don't have certain talents. Okay, so whose fault is that? But we have to bail them out by getting what?
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich?
By the way, thank you, Laura Ingraham. Okay, thank you for standing up, because I get it. It's hard to stand up to Trump. Okay, and I get it. It's a bit harder for females to stand up to Trump, especially what happened to Megyn Kelly. I completely understand. That's a valid point. I get it. But she gave some hard questions over here, and she fought back the same stuff that we were thinking as we saw this interview. She came back with those same pushbacks and talking points. Fantastic on her, by the way. One more time. Just need to hear that one more time.
Want to go to school, and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money.
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well,
so what? Yeah, exactly. So what? So what? Wait, and the same thing. Wait. But what we
you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
Okay, well, maybe if Trump, according to your logic, if the so-called institutions failed to train our own populace, our own American citizenry that we have right here. By the way, those same colleges that have been probably the apple of everybody's eye since the Cold War, these were like the top institutions on the entire planet. Okay? Everybody wanted to go to Harvard, Caltech, all these colleges across the country. These were like the top ones to go to. How many people filled the halls of NASA who were graduates? They still got no talent. So we have to go ahead and bail out these failing institutions with 600,000 Chinese students who will, by the way, and this has happened multiple times before. We talked about this in previous streams where we said how much of a danger it is to have, especially your closest and biggest adversary, to have their own citizens and nation come over here to get into our institutions, and they get into our military. They get into the military-industrial complex. They get into our tech industry, and then all of a sudden, China starts making cars that look exactly like Teslas, that have the same sort of software behind it. Then Musk gets upset, but Musk in the same vein then flip-flops. And we'll talk about Musk, because I see, Gregor Zhukov, Musk is going to get, believe me, man, he is going to get it in this stream too, okay? You are right on the money there. Funny he gets $1 trillion, the $1 trillion payout. That's insane. I told you guys, pack it in for this stream, crack open a sarsaparilla, and enjoy this stream, because it is going to be a wild one. It is going to be, hold on, wait a second, where's, I've been fixing up the sounds over here. There we go.
Howdy, partners. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and be sure to watch your kids. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be a wild one, guys. And we are talking about Union Pacific here also as well. There's a lot of stuff, so maybe if we have time, maybe we can talk about Tri-Rail afterwards, because that was something that I received from Brightline Fan yesterday. Some really bad news from apparently FDOT seems to think it's a great idea to just flood the roads with people. We just need infinite people on the roads, and we'll talk about infinite people on the roads also in this stream as well. We'll be talking about the massive amounts of factories closing, the massive amounts of layoffs occurring all across the country. Yeah, we're going to be talking about it this whole entire stream. I'm trying to stick as much of the craziness and negativity as much as possible in this stream, because next week, it's Thanksgiving week. I want to have a nice, thankful Thanksgiving where we don't have to talk about news as much. I know we'll sometimes have to talk about it, but I'd rather veer off of that path and try to enjoy more of the finer things within the rail space, within the rail community. Share some pictures, and we'll share some pictures here too. But let's get through this stuff, because this is really something that is a massive threat to the morals and fabric of this country. This is really a massive issue. And again, we said before, and I've said this, what are we building this country for if it's going to be taken apart, parasited off, and torn apart anyway? Where are we building this country for? Is it for America or is it for the rest of the world? Okay? Does China build for China or for the rest of the world? Because China's building for China. Okay? We want to talk about our biggest adversary, because it ain't Russia. Okay? Russia doesn't hold a candle to what China has. Not in this day and age. Look at the comments over here. He's let them go bankrupt. Half the colleges in the United States go out of business. Don't threaten me with a good time. Owen Schroyer. So Americans can't afford education, so let Chinese get the degrees and fund the leftist indoctrination centers. Your entire base wants over half the colleges in the United States to go out of business. I mean, this is just hilarious. And then Trump says, "I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else." Okay, if that's what MAGA wants, unlimited debt. And funding for Wall Street. That's what I guess that's what it is, right? That's what making America great again is all about. Not America. America the business. I hate that phrase. The business of America is business. No, it's not. But anyway, and then Elon Musk has this this silliness that he's going on as well. America has a major shortage of people who can do challenging physical work or even wish to train to do so. He's back on the H-1B call-out. He's posted a million times about demographics being destiny, but abandons it the minute he can make $1 in the U.S. Yeah, he's an opportunist. We've said that before about Elon Musk for at least a decade. He's a giant opportunist, and I've always said you better keep him at arm's length. And the minute he turns around to threaten you, you need to just cut it. Okay, and Trump has kind of did that already before. And then after what happened to Charlie Kirk, that absolute travesty, terrible what happened to him, and things have, I guess, all of a sudden just have been getting worse, just snowballing into this. I don't know what we're going into this timeline here, but this is everybody's just outing themselves out. But then Musk goes ahead and unveils his Optimus robot. Hold on a second, because here's a comment that I made. If only there existed a major surplus of American native-born, college-educated men that are either unemployed or underemployed. Musk has played too many RTSs on boosted accounts to recognize that we need to use the resources we have, or you end up destabilized, okay? Yeah, by the way, Elon Musk buys boosted accounts to play video games. See, this is, and then he streams it, like, thinking that he's an absolute, yeah, sure, all right. Anyway, but then he says this. Optimus will eliminate poverty and provide universal high income for all. So wait, so the robot that you're introducing to do physical labor, and the robot that you've also touted can be able to do highly advanced surgical maneuvers, to do actual surgery on people. Okay, all right. So we don't need to bring in all this talent, right? Right. We got the talent right there. Right there. There he is. Right there. There's your talent. We don't need to bring in, what was it, in the last 5 years, 50 million people, by the way, 50 million people have flooded into this country. And I've made the point before that this country is overflown, overflooded. The peak of infrastructure building in this country stopped at around the early 1970s with some modifications and some improvements in capacity here or there, okay? But the electrical grid, 1970s. The interstate, the 1970s. Just like that stopped at 1970. We'll say 1970, okay? Cities, about 1970s, okay? Apart from the fake growth in BlackRock-funded suburbs and all that sort of stuff, okay? Really, the population in 1970 was 202 million. So with some extra give or take there, we're probably looking at a peak capacity of 220, no more than 250 million. So we're probably overflow, and we don't have the capacity nor the wherewithal to be able to build that quickly. China can, because China can do whatever the hell they want. We don't have that capacity or that wherewithal here in this country to be able to do that anymore. Okay? We don't have the same country that can top out the Empire State Building within 9 months. And by the way, that building is still standing there. And by the way, that building is still the best looking building in the New York City skyline. By far. Well, maybe the Chrysler Building, but you get my point. The Chrysler Building was built, by the way, in about a year and some months change. We're not that same country anymore. Not at this point. And a lot of it is because we are being hampered by people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or any of these elites over here who have no care, no sort of sense of noblesse oblige or any sort of thing to really care about this country. And then Trump throws out a bone for you. Guess what? The 50-year mortgage. We talked about this last week. We're not going to talk about it too much here. We'll talk about it for 30 seconds here. Okay, remember, mortgage, I've said this in Latin, mortus, okay, death, gage is a pledge, gages is it's pledge. So, by the way, yeah, 50-year mortgage, the interest rates you'll be paying $1 million extra. $1 million extra on your 50-year mortgage. That is nuts. That is nuts, that is sick, that is insane. All these benefits. all this benefits is JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all those companies, which in turn benefit BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street because they own the majority shares in all of them. That's all it benefits is BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, not you. So let's go to Ford over here. Talked about the Ford CEO over here because this is the same guy. Reminder. Let's go ahead and look at this article over here. So Jim Farley says that he can't be able to fill 5,000 mechanic jobs paying $1,220 a year. I'm sorry, $120,000 a year. That sounds like a great job. Sounds like a great salary. Honestly, that's something we should be doing. Look at that. And then he's getting clowned on. This is grunt work. It is beneath you. You should be taking out a $200K in student loans and then getting a teller job at a bank paying $16 an hour. That is dignity. Yeah, this is such a pain in the ass here with this. But anyway, look at this. And then I love the Twitter context notes here. I love these. Ford CEO noted 5,000 unfilled dealership mechanic jobs paying $120,000 a year, but requiring 5 years of training for skills like removing a diesel engine from a Super Duty. Average Ford technician salary is $48,849. Jobs listed by dealership, not Ford corporate. Okay, so he's kind of lying. Okay, yeah, it's modern day CEO. Yeah, they kind of do that, but again, this is the same problem because this guy Jim Farley doesn't even realize what he's paying his American workers over here. And I said here, reminder, this is the same CEO that had his Hillary enters a New York City apartment moment where he was stunned that his shit pay requires our generation to take up multiple income streams that make ends meet. Henry Ford fought against that and the system that perpetuates it. So remember, this guy's saying, oh, we can't find the workers. We can't find the jobs. But then he has an epiphany after talking to Gen Z factory workers. They have to have 3 drops to live because he's not paying them. So no, Jim, you're full of crap. You're full of crap, dude. Complete. Now, speaking of building anything, let's talk about, and I had this, every time we're going to talk about China here, we have this, hold on. All right, I'm not dancing because the bridge collapsed. Okay, that's absolutely not. Gee, don't decrease my social credit score. Please don't. Anyway, there goes my social credit score. Inappropriate dancing. No, I wasn't dancing. I'm dancing to the song. That's a good beat though. All right. Anyway, so you guys have seen this, and everybody's saying, Chinese building. You get it? Chinese building just collapses. 758-meter long Hongqi Bridge in the southwestern province of Sichuan, China. That like Sichuan sauce? Collapses just months after opening. Construction on the Chinese bridge had finished earlier this year. The collapse of the bridge was reportedly triggered by landslides. Yeah, landslides could do that. Police closed traffic on Monday shortly before the bridge collapsed. There are no casualties. Okay. We'll take it for its word. Believe no casualties. Everybody's saying it's like, China's falling apart. Look at that. Where was it made? It's made in China. Oops. Baltimore bridge collapse that killed 6 people was preventable, federal investigators say. I don't want to hear about what China can't, and I just said they'll just build another one within a year. Reminder, we have 100-year-old infrastructure that is holding on with a hope and a prayer, crumbling everywhere. We need to rebuild. There you go. Baltimore bridge collapse that killed 6 people was preventable, federal investigators said. You think? You think that in this through here in this area over here, Baltimore in the harbor, where multiple ships, dozens upon dozens of ships per day, don't crash into the bridge? You have one that crashed in, and that's preventable? Wow! Say it ain't so. It gets worse, guys, because the cost was $1.9 billion initially to go ahead and rebuild the bridge, which is still kind of crap. Okay, $1.9 billion to rebuild the bridge. $500 million is more of a fair of what it actually should cost. But now $5.2 billion, with 2 years of delays for a bridge.
Ship hit one of its pillars, killing 6 construction workers.
Killing 6 construction workers, by the way.
The bridge.
So yeah, you can say what you want about the Chinese bridge collapse, okay? You know, at this point, look, you know, everybody's Chinese bridge collapse, yeah. American bridge collapse, guys, our country is falling apart. Hello, and they can't even build this thing. 2 years of delays. This bridge should have been already built. This bridge will be rebuilt before the Baltimore Bridge gets done. Before the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Of all the bridges to not have any sort of priority, one named after the author of the poem that lines our national anthem, Francis Scott Key. We're just gonna let that sit. Let it sit, guys. Let it sit. Alrighty. Let me go into the comments real quick to just see what's going on. Good evening, David Jackson. You know, I've been a little bit. This is gonna be a little bit of a wild one. We're almost halfway there, guys. We're almost halfway there. Believe it or not. Why did you get the shareholders to give you $1 trillion pay package to you, Elon, if you said there's no need for money anymore? Yeah, and his Tesla's not doing so well. They've more or less peaked. Electric cars more or less everywhere have peaked. And we'll talk a little bit more about that too. Even in China, they've peaked. Good. I'm good on both sides. Thank you, Star Force. Look at me. I'm reading about if my audio is good. How many minutes into the stream? 31 minutes into the stream, and I've confirmed from you guys that my audio is good. Thank you all. Thank you all. An ad interrupted my rants. Come on. Star Force, maybe Trump is trying to reverse psychology. He's done this before too many times now, and he's got too many people in his ear that want H-1Bs. Funny enough, it was Bernie Sanders that called unfettered legal immigration, by the way, not just illegal, legal immigration, which is probably at this point far more damaging right now than illegal immigration. Yes, he said that it was, quote, and look at this up, I'm not joking to you, he said it was a Koch brothers talking point to have that. That's something that the Koch brothers would want, to have unlimited slave labor. That was Bernie Sanders back in 2016. Okay, I'm not going to look that up right now. You guys are smart enough. You don't. Grok, is this real? Go look it up. You guys can do that. Jim Bones, make Amtrak great again. Yeah, and Amtrak has been doing super well, by the way. Second year in a row where they've been breaking records. So this Amtrak has been doing well. I've been very surprised and very glad that our own National Passenger Railroad system is doing very well. Okay, and that's something I would slam Amtrak. I want Amtrak to be better, and thankfully it's doing better. Okay, it's doing a lot better than it normally would be. Okay, it has improved significantly, and I'm glad that it has. Let me see. Trump does change his mind from time to time. I don't know. This is very bad. Great lower question. Trump contradicts himself in the interview. Yeah, it was terrible. Good evening, everyone. Amen. Jim Bones, 1999. Thank you, Mohammed Qureshi. Let's see who else. I see you all as well. Putting something new on Discord from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. We're gonna check that out. Let me see. Alrighty, guys. That's oh man, you guys have been active there in the comments. Okay. Let's talk about this, because this is what happens with unfettered immigration here, because some people can be allowed to build, but you can't. Okay? And the point was flying over a lot of people's head. The transit space on X. Very disappointing last weekend. Very midwit, a lot of midwittery going around. That's all we can say. But let's watch this here.
Lives literally in the shadow of the new addition being built onto her next-door neighbor's house.
Design-wise, it doesn't look anything like what it's attached to or anything else in the neighborhood.
Other neighbors tell us they're okay with this, that 3 generations of a very nice family will be living here.
Oh, that's wonderful. But if I were to do something, let's look at it what it is. Okay? Context. The whole transit space and the whole urbanist space was all going out saying, this is great, this is fantastic, my property rights don't end when your neighborhood character begins. Yeah, you should be able to build what you can on your property. Okay. Story time. Fun fact. my family and I are most of it ourselves. We built a family room to the fence line. Perfectly fine. And we had it there. We had parties and everything. We did it up to code and everything respectful. Then all of a sudden, without any sort of forewarning, they changed the code enforcement. And then we had a code officer come in and say, oh, actually, you can't build that there. Yeah, you have to go ahead and damage it. You can't have a living space between this part of the fence, blah, 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 whatever. So then we had to go ahead, thousands of dollars that we spent to make a family room had to be torn down and converted to half a storage area and half a now longer sitting room / office hybrid. I don't know what to really call it, but it's not a family room anymore. But people of a certain ethnic group then move into North Miami Beach. They then take over the code enforcement, or a good portion of it, and then start to build multiple additions to their house, unfettered, that actually go against the code. So they didn't actually change anything in the codes, but they have people on the code board to go ahead and keep it back multiple times without it actually going through the actual code enforcement to get it to stop. So this is what we're talking about. It's the selective what people can and can't build. And for 3 look, this doesn't look this looks like slum tenantry right here. Okay? That's not something that's going no. This is ridiculous. This is something out of a Dr. Seuss, like, out of this is something out of a Dr. Seuss book, man. This is not good. By the way, they did stop it, but look at the comments over here from over here. And people, why American can't build homes? How does a family building a multi-generational home prevent Americans from affording a home? If anything, it helps because they're housing people who would otherwise take up more homes. Well, maybe these people probably shouldn't. And again, legal immigration, people that come and then they start taking over the rules. That's what happens. And if let's say if this lady over here wanted to do the same thing, she'd be in prison. They tear it down. They would have a bulldozer right there, ready to tear it right down. Speaking from experience, but people don't get it. Americans love property rights up until the point that a fellow American actually exercises their right over their property. By the way, finally, I love these readers add context. Even Musk has been owned by the community notes on his own platform, which is hilarious. He's probably turned it off on his own account. He would be he'd be the type to do that. According to the video itself, the addition does not meet all zoning requirements. It meets the zoning requirement for height, but not the requirement for distance from the property line. The county has stopped construction because of the violation. Well, good. Oh, good. Maybe they can build their magic tree house somewhere else. Okay, it gets worse. It gets worse because people don't understand. Yeah, this is the architecture style has a familiar ring to it. There you go. Yeah, this is the thing. We need to, again, it's nice to build housing for people, but quality over quantity. Okay? Quality over quantity. Yeah, and again, this went over everybody's heads. It's amazing how much leftist discourse just pretending not to understand things does making discourse impossible. And this is becoming a problem. And this is another thing that people don't understand. Okay, so this seemed to create quite the stir this weekend. This is the American Costco. This is what unchecked immigration has done to this country since the 1965 Immigration Act. I'm going to get to the infrastructure part over here because we already talked about the country being overflooded. But everybody's now going losing. Oh no, people, and it seems to be the ad verbatim, almost ad verbatim, sort of same talking points. People buying groceries. Ugh, shut up, man. Shut up. Shopping at Costco is peak American assimilation, to be honest. Shopping at Costco is one of the most American activities imaginable. This is assimilation manifest. All right. Alrighty. So, here we are. This is what it needs to be. Millions, no, billions must drive to Costco. The streets of Austin must overflow with SUVs of bulk bought bananas ready for resale at the Hampton Inn. If Hyderabad is not emptied into Houston, we're not doing enough to make make America great again. They have to just come in. We need infinite growth. infinite growth without actually building anything. We will not improve the roads. We will not improve. Sorry, we're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to have this right next to you. Right next to you. Have these squalor homes next to you. You must have the squalor homes. You must live in the shacks. Like in Ready Player One. I love that movie. Great movie, Ready Player One. While in the shadow of the giant metadata center, the metadata center and the X data center, so Elon Musk can generate more goon images of his AI waifu. He needs it. He needs it. I told him, Elon, that looks like Misa from Death Note. And he said, no, it doesn't. And I said, Elon, it does. It's definitely Misa from Death Note. It absolutely looks like that character. And he just ignored me. He just said, Elon, I love him, but he's sometimes very silly. Very, very silly character. Very silly. He loves it. He loves his AI anime waifu gooning. He just does. And he wastes so much time on that computer just doing that. He's torn down an entire town to build a data center. Yeah, that's what the future of America is going to be. It's going to be billions. No, not millions. Billions must drive. Billions must drive everywhere. Everywhere. Billions must drive. We can't have it. It's anyway, let's take a break from this. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but yeah, it's insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. Like I told you, this country is turning into it's like turning into a land. It's turning into Brazil. It's Brazilification. We're not going to have no civil war. We're not going to have no balkanization. It's going to be Brazilification, man. That's what it's going to be. I know, completely wrong accent, but at this point, I don't care. By the way, top #1 song last week, Megadeth released. I don't care. That's going to be my new theme song. And anybody says, but you can't say I don't care. I don't care. Rail merger. By the way, Republicans finally have some sense over here. Rail merger could raise prices, hurt U.S. ability to compete, says GOP legislatures. In other news of things that are harmful to the nation and that will completely continue to hamper our ability to be able to grow naturally and to be able to give our people a fighting chance over here. Dozens of Republican state legislatures warned regulators that the proposed rail mega merger of Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern threatens to raise the cost of products on everything from steel and autos to food and hinder the ability of U.S. companies to compete on the world market. Okay? The letter was signed by 54 GOP state senators and representatives and comes just days after a similar letter from 9 Republican state attorney generals said the merger effects could affect national security. Oh, wow. Wow, we said that last week of how this will affect national security. Gee, I wonder what happens when your supply chain is owned by a monopoly whose only singular goal seems to be pleasing the shareholders and not any sort of patriotic duty to this nation. Gee, I wonder what happens. But unfortunately, and I kind of have to agree with Jim Venna over here, I said 90%. But Jim Venna believes that he is 99.999% sure, certain the merger will be approved. So 99.999. That doesn't leave too much room for error there. Does not leave we're talking about to the thousandth place over here that he's going into. Yeah. 99.999. Gee, I wonder how he can do that when he he donated for the new East Wing Ballroom, by the way. Man. Gee, it would be nice if the American people could get what they voted for. I mean, isn't that what we have? Isn't that what the system, having a republic, is made to have for? Is to have representation? That's it. Or is it being bought by oligarchs? I don't know. But here you go. You have 54 state GOP senators actually doing something. They're doing something. Follows a dominant performance by Democrats in recent elections amid plunging voter approvals over how the Trump administration is handling the economy and concern over rising prices for groceries, energy, and consumer goods. Now, I think the Trump administration, they're too obsessed about a certain country in a certain area of the world, it seems. They seem to be more worried about that than how the actual country is doing. I don't know. But it seems that way. It just seems, though. But yeah, look, this is the Republican Party. We talked enough about how much the Republican Party is might as well just be the retarded party. because they keep doing this stuff to shoot themselves in the foot. This is easy. Handling the economy. Concerns over rising prices, groceries, energy, and consumer goods. That's what you got elected for. Isn't this where you had a resounding victory over the Democrats back in 2024 was because of just that? What happened? What happened? What happened? But at least, look, this is good. If there's at least, it's gonna happen. But you might as well go take it to the 12th round. Take it to the 12th round. I hope it gets, please, I hope it gets absolutely ugly in the STB meetings and hearings over this. So they did send this to Surface Transportation Board Chairman Patrick Fuchs, who I do like the guy. I think he's got a good head on him, and he's talked about how short lines are the future of America, which we've also agreed here on this channel. Okay, you need some sort of smaller system instead of monopolistic large companies. No, have smaller local distributed companies. Okay, and that's how this country grew. Yeah, you're gonna have some companies are gonna be larger than others, sure, but you cannot have one giant mega corporation that takes over nearly 45% of all U.S. rail tonnage, and all dominant market share in critical commodity sectors. These commodities directly affect the cost of consumer goods, housing, energy, and food, core expenses for American families and small businesses. Yeah, that's a monopoly. That's 100% a monopoly. 45% in between what? At this point, 5 companies? That's a majority. It's nuts. But I don't think it's gonna. I don't think this deal is. I'd be very surprised. I still say 90%. I'm giving a little room there for 10% that this can get hit. Giving it a bit. And look, they mentioned China. Reduced competition in these areas will inevitably lead to higher prices and fewer choices. This merger can negatively affect America's ability to compete with. Come on. There you are. America's ability to compete with China, and has the potential to pose significant risk for the industrial and agricultural production that powers state economies and the broader American manufacturing base. We're going to talk about that, but first, speaking of things that are on fire, because we talked about you could be set on fire during an argument on a CTA train, or you can be a train that is also set on fire, which now SEPTA has completed point-by-point inspections of the Silverliner 4 regional rail trains. Something that we mentioned dates back to 1973, by the way. 1973, okay? This train has outlasted Joe Biden in politics, okay? This is you know what else came out in 1973? A 1973 Buick Riviera. This is the 1973 Buick Riviera that is still to this day in 2025 in 2015 plus 10 current year still riding on America's railroad. Okay, now first of all, that's a testament to how things were made back then. So we didn't have H-1Bs before. I wonder what happened to America, by the way. Let me see, where was that? Somebody had a good post over here. I gotta scroll down to it. Where is it? Somewhere over the rainbow. Somewhere. Oh man, he is getting dumped on in the comments. Yeah, here you are. America seemed to have done. We did pretty good for ourselves. Okay. Now, look, I still think we went to the moon. It's a lot easier than people think. Okay, I know I argue with people about this, saying whether we went to the moon or not. No, give us credit. We went to the moon. We went to the moon, okay? We did that. This was a disaster, okay? So I get it. This picture is not all up to snuff here, but regardless. But yeah, that is what we're dealing with. Meanwhile, we should be building new trains. We should be doing that. However, this is what's happening all across the board. Here we are. Get ready. We're going to go real quickly through this. Tennessee loses $2.6 billion mega factory and faces major layoffs. Florida abruptly loses 2 PepsiCo plants, triggering $250 million economic time bomb. Marriott shuts down 9,900 hotel units in 37 cities. Chapter 7 liquidation leaves guests stranded. This is all within the last week, by the way. Freight slump erases 1,000 jobs as another carrier collapses. Best economy, greatest economy ever. Ford to shut down Kentucky assembly plant, placing 2,000 American jobs at risk. Michigan and Ohio lose 1,700 jobs after GM shuts down EV production. U.S. companies axe 153,000 jobs in October. $55 billion in wages wiped out as AI and cost cuts ravage workforce. This is our country. This is our country right now. I don't want to hear from anyone, especially the President of the United States, that we have, speaking of being led by stupid people, because there you go. This is.
We are led by very, very stupid people.
I don't know, stupid or evil. What is it? Or maybe both. I don't know. Okay, but at this point, there's no way you can say that this, and we're missing a good amount of the data, because during the government shutdown, which ended finally, by the way, it ended last week, but we're still missing a whole good amount of data of what actually happened. Not that it matters, because they lied the data anyway. They've lied about the unemployment numbers for years. Okay, but while we're talking about this, let's again, construction spending on data centers, factories, power plants, and office buildings boom at one end and bust at the other. Spending on factories dwarfs spending on data centers, but we're not building enough. So there you go. Construction building for data centers monthly in billions. It's gone up nearly 400% within the last 4 years. That tells you where the that tells you where the priority is. Now they're still spending on factory construction, spending for factories monthly in the billions. It's eked out here or there. But again, it's only gone up 213%. Not that I don't know how much this is, but we're picking at around 21 billion versus 3.5 billion. So yeah, that's true. Construction spending for factories has increased, but it's nowhere near enough. That's the problem. We're stuck. We're stuck being able to do what we need to be able to do. Construction spending on power plants and distribution. Okay, and we'll give the Trump administration one thing. They are giving a hefty loan to reopen 3 Mile Island, because we do need where is it? Where's the that's the one. Here we are. We do need the
N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's no. It's the nuclear word.
Legalize nuclear bomb.
All right, I went a little overboard with the sounds there, but you get what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, we need that. We're not gonna go into it again, but yeah, let's reset the counter, 0 streams without mentioning nuclear power. By the way, the worst selling cars in America. I wonder why so many jobs, especially in the automotive sector, are being wiped out. Okay, I wonder why that's happening over here in the automotive sector. And Jim Farley can't seem to give people a living wage, so that doesn't help. You can't have a family wage. It doesn't help to be able to afford a car. Let me see let's just go through this list real quickly, just for shits and giggles. Audi S4, 198 days on the lot. You have to be a special someone to be a special brain to be buying an Audi. Why would you be buying an Audi? It's like probably the worst of the German brands, but whatever. Anyway, the Ram 2500, 200 days on the lot. I gotta get my big giant truck that I don't tow anything in. Oh, good. I hope it rots there for 200 more days. Here's the 200 days and 200 more to go. Pavement princess. Audi Q8, 201 days. Oh, by one. But hey, you gotta be a little special. not the brightest way to be getting an Audi right now. But anyway, Land Rover Discovery. That's another special someone to be buying that. Volkswagen Taos. That's another one. 215 days. Lincoln Aviator. It's not the worst one. Okay, 219 days. Although I probably wouldn't be buying anything from Ford, especially what happened to my mother-in-law's Ford that just crapped out when the start-stop function just clunked the entire transmission. It's nuts. Oh, but look at this. The Ford Mustang. 225 days. America's affordable pony car. Yeah, the affordable sports car that starts at, we said this before, at $42,000. You're not gonna find one at the lot of where it starts at. Yeah. So only 37,000 sold in 2024. Probably half of those going to Enterprise. Because I've rented at least like 4 of these now. Whenever I gone anywhere, I just say, hey, can I take the Mustang over there? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Nobody's getting it. Yeah, there you go. Sweet talk your way with the Emerald Isle and get the Ford Mustang there. That's the only way. The Maserati Griselle. Is it Griselle or Griselle? Like when like some name that I would hear in Cooper City. Griselle or what? 259 days. Oh man, Griselle is Maserati's entry-level model for less than $100,000. Look. I'll give the Audi people a pass. You have to be really, really something special in the head to be buying a Maserati, because this thing is gonna crap out into. Oh man, Audi A4 276, the Jaguar F-Pace 372 days, more than a year. Yeah, people aren't buying cars. People don't have the income right now to be doing any of that. Why? Because these pieces of crap don't pay them. These pieces of crap don't pay their workers correctly. They just don't. There you go. Epiphany after talking to Gen Z workers. They were saying they had to have 3 jobs. What has he done since then? Nothing. Nothing. But let him pretend that he's one with the people when he goes on oh man, who's the comedian? With the car show. Now I just forgot his name. I can see his face. Jay Leno. Jay Leno's Garage. You can go on Jay Leno's Garage and showcase the Mustang GTD. Yeah, this was a passion project of mine. I just love the Mustang, and we did all these details. Yeah. But your workers can't just afford it, though. By the way, your shareholders can, but your workers can't. What matters more, man? What matters more? Oh wait, it gets worse. Ford may scrap money losing F-150 electric truck. By the way, I make fun of anybody who drives that thing. I just point and laugh on the road. Okay, not really point. You can't really point and laugh here in Indianapolis nowadays because so you may be pointing your finger at somebody else, but somebody's gonna be pointing a Glock 19 at you. So you gotta be careful nowadays in Indianapolis. So much for being the I guess it's not the nicest city anymore in America. It's very sad. Okay, here we go. China EV market is imploding. We're gonna be hearing this sort of stuff. So notice this has come out in the last week now. There's been, hold on, wait, we've mentioned China. Here we go. There we go. China's EV market is imploding. In China, you can buy a heavily discounted used electric car that has never in fact been used. Chinese automakers, desperate to meet their sales targets in a bitterly competitive market, sell cars dealerships which register them as sold, even though no actual customer has bought them. Dealers stock with officially sold cars, then offload them as used, often at low prices. The practice becomes so prevalent that the Chinese Communist Party is trying to stop it. Its main paper, the People's Daily, complained earlier this week that this sales inflating tactic disrupts normal market order. This has been happening for like years. But now all of a sudden, like at the same time, this is now coming out at the same time. And there's another article. China's EV boom just hit the brakes. Here's why the world's hottest market cooled off. All right. Yeah, cállate, yeah. Okay, anyway. After years of explosive growth fueled by generous subsidies and sky-high demand, the once dominant market is now feeling the weight of its own success. Sales are slowing, major cities have hit saturation, and global regulations are tightening. What was once a runaway success story is now entering a new, more uncertain phase. And once you get into the numbers over here, it's like, okay, really? It's not really going down. Oh, no. Electric vehicle sales in China grew 32% between January and September this year, less than half of last year's 83% surge. Oh, that's it? That's the growth? That's it? It only grew 32 and not 83. It's over. It's over, guys. It's all over. It is so over for China that has, wait a second, spent inordinate amounts of money to upgrade its cities, upgrade its electricity, build 24 nuclear facilities within the last 25 years or so. Oh, wait, and market saturation? You mean, people in China can afford these things? Oh, you mean the rest of the world now? Easing some safety requirements for budget EVs priced between roughly $20,000 and $26,000. Wow, that seems like a more affordable price point. We don't have vehicles like at that cost there. They're not going to be on the lots. You can go online. You can see MSRP starts at $23,000. Good luck finding that on the lot, because no dealerships are going to have that available there. They're going to tell you, yeah, you can take this one at $32,000. I know it's got the pink leather seats that you don't want, but trust me, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's the only one we have. I already have 3 other people looking at this week. Chinese EV sales in Europe jumped 91% in the first half of this year. Oh, to over 340,000 units, capturing more than 5% of the market. But it's over. It's over. Yeah, I don't believe so, and we're stuck. Meanwhile, GM orders suppliers to ditch China-made parts by 2027. So they're trying. We're trying to get back a market, it seems. I don't know. We're trying to bring back our own supply chain, but like I said, this is going to be hard. You cannot just type it up. Like the same thing with the tariffs. Spirit of the tariffs, yes, great. Love the spirit of the tariffs. The way that it's being executed, absolutely dog water. Terrible. Just absolute garbage dump. You don't do it that way. You're passing at least 50 steps before you start throwing in tariffs. First step was bolstering our own supply chain and production chain and our own natural resources chain first, before saying, yeah, China, by the way, we're gonna charge 200% tariffs. I mean, 100% tariffs. It's like Dr. Evil. 100% tariffs. Actually, 200% tariffs. It's so stupid, man. And I get it. It's the art of the deal. The art of the deal. I get a 5D chess. No, dude, I'm not falling for that. No, I'm not falling for that. Not falling for that. So, what America? We get to this point. What America do you guys want? Do you want Costco America, consumer America, of unlimited people, unlimited? Wait. Unlimited immigration and funding for the banks. That's what we want? Is that what we want? Is that what we want? No, millions, no. Billions. Billions must drive across America. Is that what we want? Do we want that America? Or do you want this?
Frequently called the most cosmopolitan city of the Midwest, Detroit.
What do you want, America? What do you want? I'm sure this picture smells a hell of a lot better, I'll tell you. It certainly smells better here. I say that. That's the point. Call me whatever you want. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. And I stopped caring years and years ago. I don't care. Okay? I got through supporting Trump in 2016, and that was the worst thing. You get called the worst names back in 2016, even back in 2015 when I supported Trump. Okay? And now you supported this guy enough times, and he says, "Oh, by the way, you have no talent. We don't need you anymore. We just need billions upon billions of this. That's what we need. Consumer America." Because that's all they're for. It doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter where they're from or whatever. The banks and people like Elon Musk just see them as units on an RTS game. That's all they see them as. Little units that can be sacrificed, shifted over, moved around. Just continuing the debt cycle. That's it. Consumers, unlimited consumers. That's all we want. Assimilation manifest. Yeah, one of the most American activities and manageable. That's what America is. America is when consume. America is when shop at Costco. Get the fuck out of here, man. You got to be kidding me with this mid-wittery, absolute mid-wittery of the week, man. From all the, and it's the same comments. It's peak American assimilation, to be honest. He Reddit speak. Shopping at it's like almost the same. Look at that, almost the same. This is a danger to our democracy. It gives me that vibes. Holy moly, man. That's what I said. Trump completely lost the plot this week with 50-year mortgages, 600,000 Chinese students, and channeling Vivek by saying young Americans can't pivot into manufacturing skills, which is complete bulk and ridiculousness to say that we can't learn how to manufacture, okay? Come on, I've worked on machines before. I worked on sewing machines. I worked on cars. In fact, hold on a second. Before I get into a lot of this stuff, speaking of Ford, because now that just reminded me, and this upset the absolute hell out of me now that I thought about this. So Ford said that he can't find people to train mechanics, and that you have to be 5 years trained in order to go ahead and take apart, a Ford Super Duty diesel engine? A Ford Super Duty diesel engine, okay. So back in the long ago, I gotta go scroll down a lot to this phone over here. Back a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, when I worked at Cummins, we did what was called an engine familiarization course. And what that course entails is that you take apart a Cummins, I believe it was a 12B, 6-cylinder, 12-liter diesel engine that's usually used in trucks. Pretty simple engine. It's like a giant 2JZ. That's what it was to me. Okay? They gave you all the tools. They gave you, basically, you have a laptop there that tells you step by step and what to do, what tools to use, what setting to put the torque wrench on, all that sort of stuff. By the way, I'm not formally trained a mechanic. I just do this stuff like just out of the blue, and I can just do it, and you go on YouTube and you can learn this sort of stuff. But by the way, there were about, I would say, a dozen people in the class. There were only 2 people that worked on the engine. And no, it wasn't the only female in the class, and it wasn't about the 12 other people that looked like this. Okay? They were not touching the engine. They did not know what to do. So in that whole entire engine familiarization course, which was a waste of time for them because they just learned the basics of how a diesel engine works, which probably flew over their head, flew over their damn heads, okay? The only people that worked, I kid you not, that touched that engine was me, and I kid you not, another guy that graduated from FIU that was not an engineering degree, and we took apart that engine and put it right back together without any issues, without any problems, okay? That was absolutely hilarious. And I'm trying to see if I can find the photos, because there you are. Took all the photos. You're telling me, Jim Farley and President Donald Trump, that you can't get Americans to pivot into here? Look at this. There you go. Look at me putting that all together. You can't do that? You can't do that? And I took pictures just in case. Okay, well, let's see if we don't put that together. What did it look like before? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I tell you again, putting this together, not that dang hard to do and put together. Okay, we can't put together an engine. We can't put together the pistons. You can't do that. This, by the way, this is the only time you can tell because she was wearing flip-flops. Oh, man. There you go. This is the giant pistons. The giant pistons on that engine. So, yeah, you can't teach those skills. Really. We need to force them, waste 5 years of your life. Go into debt to train for skills, and then maybe you'll get $48,000 a year. Eat crap, man. Eat crap. Yeah, these people were you couldn't teach these people. They needed to go to frequently absolutely in-depth courses. They needed to go to 5 years to mechanic schools to learn how to build this. It just came out of the ether, guys. Remember, no, this country's not talented, folks. Sorry, it's not talented. But this is the thing. And this also ties into the stack, the building of the stacks over here in the neighborhood. Something out of like flippin' Ready Player One. What's the point of opening your arms to the world when we become an open air strip mall and we're filled with DEI versions of the villains from Lethal Weapon 2? So for those of you who have not watched Lethal Weapon 2, okay, there's a villain in there, and of course it's the 1980s. All the bad guys seem to be white Afrikaners because that was a thing back then in the 1980s. But anyway. The point is, This guy is going around doing crimes with this gang and whatever, and because he's diplomat, a South African ambassador, he just goes, can't arrest me. Diplomatic immunity. What's the difference when somebody goes, I have a green card. I have citizenship. Diplomatic immunity. It's the same thing. Same thing. Just waving it around. Just waving it. Oh, but I have citizenship. Oh, but I have diplomatic immunity. I can do whatever I want, right? Because I have this paper gives me the same rights as you, right? No, it's wrong. It's sick. It really is. By saying young Americans can't pivot into manufacturing skills, America first means Americans first. We can't build anything right until Americans are the priority. That's the America that we want. Okay? And it doesn't come by importing a million people when we're already 100 to 150 million people over capacity. Our infrastructure can't take it. Our electric grid is failing. Our roads are falling apart. Our bridges aren't even getting built. Our bridges are still falling apart. Okay? Our rail system needs help. Everything needs help. And then when you have this thing happen, hold on. Where is it? When this happens, capacity is going to collapse. Because you're going to have, it's great for the shareholders, it's great for Americans. The stocks are up. The stocks are up. The stocks are up. Wonderful. The stocks are up. The stocks, guys. But the stocks, look at that. They're up. Everything is up. 153,000 layups. No, the stocks are up. Unflippin' believable, man. All righty. Let's get into some fun over here. 9:15, we're going to open up the Discord channel because I see you guys there. You're itching to get on. You are absolutely itching to get on, and we will get you on. I am itching here too. Yeah, I don't care for Costco and Walmart. Yeah, man. I don't care for it either. Yeah. We'll look into the comments over here in a bit, but it's things are going, yeah. Good. I'm glad you guys are in agreement over here. It's maybe America has reached peak population. No, we've been past peak population, man. I wish we were at peak because that would make things easier to build. We're not going to be able to build things this quickly. Speaking of silly things within the Anglosphere, UK roads to be made narrower to reduce the safety risk posed by cyclists. The Daily Mail. This just says everything here. By the way, let's again simple for the rest. For some reason, America, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the whole Anglosphere doesn't understand how to use a bike. They think it's something that you go ahead and you LARP like you're on the Tour de France and you wear a leotard, you buy a $10,000 bike and you go ahead and make everybody's day worse. That's what it is in America. That's what biking is in America. Whereas in other countries, bikes are actually used as a form of transportation, by the way. They get their own right of way. Away from the roads. We've seen this in the Netherlands. We've seen this in Japan. We've seen this in China to some effect because then there's some live leak videos out of China where it looks like something out of Final Destination where, some bike gets hit, then the guy flies off, it hits somebody else, and then the car flips, and then something explodes, and it's like a whole chain reaction of just absolute violent, I don't know what. But anyway, yeah. And if you can't figure out the bikes, well, there you go. How a $1 billion California bike path ended up in bureaucratic hell. $1 billion for a bike path? That seems like something that California would do. The environmental review process is still in the early stages and may be done by 2027. Nice name there, by the way, Matthew Lewis. For a bike path that voters approved in 2016. Well, clock is right twice a day, right? Broken clock. This is malicious bureaucratic delay and agency capture by car brains. This never happens for highway or road widening projects. He's got a point. It's true. By the way, the same state that can't figure out how to build a high-speed rail system within 15 years. I'm not surprised that they can't build a bike path within 10. So, yeah, if they can't build a bike path within 10 years, imagine the high-speed rail. It's just going to get worse. We'll give the Anglosphere some, particularly the UK, because that absolute dumb travesty out of the UK. Well, that came out of the UK, but this is coming out of the UK. Eurostar unveils €2 billion plan to run double-decker trains through the Channel Tunnel. Maybe it's coming from the more sensible side of the channel. Maybe it's France. It's kind of weird to say that France is the more sensible one out of the UK. But the way the things are going in the UK, man, you've done and surpassed whatever France did in the last 10 years. You went down and done double, boy. You really passed them there, England. Wow. But anyway, the first trains are not due to join the fleet until January 2031. Let's see who gets done first. The bike path or the Eurostars. Says 6 new trains will be operational at that time. Did not specify when more double-decker sets will begin running. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at this. Competitive European mobility. Eurostar CEO Gwendolyn Cazenave. I guess that's, I can't tell which part of Europe she's in. So how do I pronounce this one? Is it Cazenave or Cazenave? Anyway, says the move supports the company's ambitious growth strategy, arguing that Eurostar is leading the race for international sustainable travel. Customers can expect a special new train with Eurostar Celestia, which will offer exceptional comfort, a unique Eurostar experience, and surprises to be revealed. Henry Poupard Lafage of Alstom, that's probably, that's definitely French, also welcomed the news, stating that the new generation trains have been designed to meet increased demand and, quote, embody our vision of sustainable and competitive European mobility. What does it mean by competitive European mobility? Well, they're competing with other tracks and trains as well, and they're competing with the airlines. So yeah, this is what happens when you build a high-speed rail system that competes with all the other transportation systems in there. You can be able to have competition. That's fine. We want competition. In fact, having that competition is better. Now, they do have a monopoly on the Channel Tunnel. We do know that. But it may be ending because early this year, Italian State Railways, Ferrovie dello Stato, the state railroad, that literally means the state railroad, revealed plans to launch a high-speed rail service between Paris and London by 2029. FS says that the project, with an earmarked budget of €1 billion, wow, just €1 billion, they probably will build that, will be carried out in partnership with Spanish firm Evolyn, led by the Cosmen family. Is that the Spanish or anyway? High-speed rail networks are the backbone of efficient, environmentally friendly mobility, and by expanding our presence on key corridors, we're not just investing in infrastructure and innovation, but also in the future of European transportation. I could only wish that this country here could do the same. I only wish it could do the same. I mean, look, this is anyway. Somebody said they don't understand how AI and crypto works. Well, I'm about to rack your brain a little bit here. Content produced by AI is now appearing on the internet in greater volume than content created by humans per Axios. Look at that. It just jumped in late 2022. Boom, 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 boom. 2025 makes the majority. So every article that I guarantee, probably half of these are written by ChatGPT. Hey, Chat, hey, Grok. Or if you could say, Grok, is this real? It got 29 likes, guys. We're niche internet celebrities now. This little X account is now 458 followers. Wow. Okay, it's growing, guys. We're making the numbers. But hey, yeah, no, it's true. Every time I see a Grok, is this real? It just makes me laugh. Dude, just look it up. Just look it up. I get it. More AI news. Brightline. Oh, yeah. We haven't mentioned Brightline at all today. Brightline partners with Soterion.ai to bring LiDAR to its system. Soterion.ai will use a proprietary Overwatch perception platform to create a real-time intelligent location maintenance product of Brightline's corridor. Essentially, what it's doing, similar to what Dr. Yellow, this train over here. I'll show you this train. So on the Shinkansen line, I actually did see the guy. I don't know. This is like seeing a ho-oh. In Japan. My first and only trip to Japan, and I actually see this and take a picture of it. It's like, quick explanation. OBS reconnection successful. Okay, all right, we're still on. What this train does, and you can see from the front over there is a scale replica, by the way, not the actual train. I hope you guys know that. But this train has a whole bunch of special cameras and a whole bunch of arrays in the front, including LiDAR, radar, all that sort of stuff. And the crew sits in between here with all the whole length of the train, with a whole bunch of computers and a whole bunch of other mechanical equipment as well to measure, to make sure that the line is not jolted or on the wrong way, and making sure that it's safe for operation. Yeah, they run that thing almost every night. So what Brightline is doing is essentially making it as simple as it is for you guys, essentially doing the same thing, but it's putting it on a couple of its trains. while it's running. So it doesn't need that much. It doesn't need a whole crew of people, in the trains in the back, or a whole bunch of computers. It can just run that off a server. I mean, that's good stuff. I will say that's actually pretty good, and you don't have to spend too much on that. Pulses to map a spatial image of area or objects. Hopefully, it can detect when that's not going to do anything for cars. I mean, what's it going to do? Hope you guys have seen the Bloodline video that we put out a couple weeks ago. Technology is most frequently used in autonomous vehicles, the defense industry, aviation, and monitoring traffic patterns. Okay, so sensors will be mounted to 2 Brightline locomotives. We use proprietary Overwatch. That game started to suck after a while. I know it's not the same thing. Perception platform to create a real-time intelligent location maintenance product of Brightline's corridor. Yeah, that basically says it there. That's pretty cool. That is cool to see. All right. Some nice things. Here we are, real quick. 12 of the most beautiful train rides for fall foliage views. There we are. I know it's 9:15, guys, but let's have some nice calming stuff, and then we'll get there. Here we are. I'll just go through the list real quick, and if you guys want to see it, we can see it. Amtrak's Vermonter from Washington, D.C. to northern Vermont. Amtrak's Adirondack in New York and Quebec. The Vigenzia Cintovale Railway in Italy and Switzerland. The West Highland Line in Scotland. Now, that is gorgeous. The Rocky Mountaineer in the western United States and Canada. We have a beautiful country, guys. I mean, this is just gorgeous. Look at that. Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad in Ohio. And we have enough diversity as it is in this country. Look at that. Look at that. You go from there in one part of the state to one part of the country to that. I mean, that's just incredible. The Agawa train, or Agawa train in Canada. There you are, Northern Ontario. Amtrak's Empire Builder from Chicago to the Pacific Northwest, and that's another beautiful part. I mean, it's just incredible, the amount of just absolute geographic diversity that we have in this country. And then the administration wanted to say that they wanted to sell everything to out of the bureau, the BLS to build more. You know what? Perfect. Just what this land needs. BlackRock needs more suburban homes here. You know what this needs? More suburban housing. It needs a Costco, guys. Come on, it needs a Costco. That's what it needs. Oh man, beautiful though. Heartland Flyer in Oklahoma and Texas. The Bernina Express in Switzerland, Italy. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous alpine scenery. Amtrak California Zephyr from Chicago to California. That is definitely one I've been always wanting to get on. I mean, going from the Midwest to the Southwest to Los Angeles, that is incredible. Probably better than going on Route 66, honestly. It'd probably take you less time, spanning a total of 51 hours. Beautiful. The Conway Scenic Railroad in New Hampshire. Also, though, I would like to go on Route 66. I technically did finish Route 66, and by technically in 1 year, I meant I visited multiple places in multiple times, kind of jumping around. And I'll say I did it. I went from Chicago and some places in the middle and to LA, so I did Route 66 in a year. Kind of did it. Got from the beginning to the end. So anyway, the Conway Scenic Railroad in New Hampshire. Look at that. Wow. So there you go, guys. Speaking of orange, debuting in the 1970s, speaking of the 1970s, the iconic orange of France's first high-speed trains. Look at that. 1970s. That's what France was doing. What were we doing in the 1970s? Oh, wait. Oh, man. Yeah, guys. Oh, man, we got to catch up. Oh man, but that is super cool though. SNCF on the TGV Train Grand Vitesse, beautiful. Alrighty, guys, we are gone through all the articles in a record hour and 19 minutes. Alrighty, let's let people in. We're done talking. We see NIMBYs are suing the bike path along NorCal Smart Train Row. Yeah, I get it. It's forever. That's the thing with NIMBYs. It's look, we have to be smart about what we don't want in our backyard. Like I don't want this in my backyard, right? I don't want another Walmart. I don't want another data center. I don't want a giant Costco. Certainly don't want, this in my backyard. But there's certainly things we want in our backyard, like this. Okay, we have to be selective about stuff. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. All right, let's let everybody in here. Here we go. Speaking of quantity, here we go. Let's invite all the quantity here, but we do have a lot of quality. That's where we excel in both quality and quantity. What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Oh, we are good.
Yeah, you were talking about SEPTA earlier and how their 1973 trains are being old and older than Biden's entire political career.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are old, but they still pale in comparison to those cars that they somehow keep running down in Cuba.
I'm not a fan of those cars, not gonna lie. Not a fan of those cars.
It's a miracle they keep those things running.
I don't know. At that point, they probably have donkeys underneath the trains running anything in Cuba.
You gotta think how old this system is. How old is the electronics on those?
Well, they stopped getting cars from the USA back when the Communist Revolution happened in '59, so they're at least over 66 years old now. That's minimum.
Amazing how they run, how long they last.
Yeah, but you just have to remember, as you're putting the engines back together, you have to put it back in the square hole.
Yeah, no, it's
a lot of moving parts.
That is just crazy though that we still have that train. It's again outlasting Joe Biden's political career. Anything at that point is nuts.
But the French orange TGVs back in the 70s, the USA had a different type of orange, but they were doing it in a former French colony, and we just don't talk about that.
Oh yeah. By the way, the Sodom song for Agent Orange, that's quite the banger. That's a spoiler alert, by the way. Orange in one French countryside, and orange in another former French colony. That's a good one. Alrighty. Let me see what else over here.
Yeah, but we also have memes.
Yeah. All right.
Let's scroll up. Let's look at the memes. The memes are at least good this time.
Let's expecting.
Yeah, post something there.
Let's go ahead and look through the memes. Let me go up to the.
Also, I made a satire of a FDOT press release.
Oh man, I gotta see that. Okay.
I made some satire along the way.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's in general.
All right, David. Metra has announced that it will conduct airstrikes on your neighborhood beginning in 12 minutes. I'm scared.
What?
That's a funny one.
You better be.
Let's see what the next meme is. That's
just a
actually
JDM
funny.
into the back garden.
Penn Central. Oh no, not this meme. The one with the turnstile. Visibility. That's maximum visibility right there. Let's see what else we got.
I've seen that.
Yeah, David, if there's any article in particular you want us to go through, let me know, because you have several over here, and we'll pick one at a time, but let me see. Not based foundation. There. Let's see what else. Crack beer and let it go to shit. Yeah, that's what we're doing with our country right now. All politicians are corrupt. Yeah. Minnesota town re-elects dog as its mayor. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Yeah, that one's cute. That's the best mayor in America right now.
The same.
It's kind of nice for a change.
Let me see. German Scrabble.
Well, we all know. We all know who's the worst mayor of America.
Well, not yet. Give it until January 1st. Give it until January 1st.
Well, we know who the worst mayor is, and unfortunately, we're renewing that list for next year.
Yeah. Let's see. Heartless Fiend, sorry I'm late to the party. You have missed a good hour and so. Missed the crash out here. 25 best-selling cars and trucks of 2025 so far. You guys want to go through that or something else?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Let's see what people actually buy in.
Yeah. Breaking news, President Trump signs bill to release the Epstein files after months of resistance. Okay, ready to see the most amount of Sharpie markers you've ever seen? That's what the whole entire thing is going to be.
We've been waiting on it, and it's like, just get it released already.
All right. Is there going to be an
They're probably
episode
gonna
there
hide
about him and Bill? Is that what we're going to see? Oh man, I can't. I don't know at this point. Who knows what to believe anymore? Alrighty, let's look at this. The top 25 best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs of 2025 so far. It's mostly going to be filled with crossovers, probably. But let's see. Number 25, the Subaru Outback. Not too bad. The Ford Maverick, at number 24. Something that was supposed to be touted as starting at $20,000, but you can't find on the lot for under 30. The Nissan Sentra. 125 units and typically seen going down on I-65 at 125 miles an hour. The Jeep Wrangler, 128 units. Also known how many times it will flip over when it sees a roundabout. Your typical Jeep driver. Or how many rubber duckies will be on the seal there. 128,000. Alrighty, Tesla Model 3.
No, the rubber duckies are only for the Jeeps.
Yeah.
Remember that.
It's only for the Jeeps. Tesla Model 3, 130,700 units. They're still selling them. Not as much, but they're still selling them. Surge in the third quarter by 31%. Oh, look at that. Subaru Forester, 133,000 units. Subaru's up on here. Kia Sportage. Wasn't Kia and Hyundai getting sued because they had engines exploding at 79,000 miles?
I think so.
Yeah. Don't buy a Kia. Don't buy a Hyundai, but that's just me. But hey, it's number 19.
Even if very cheap, it doesn't mean it's gonna last.
Yep. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's last. Quality over quantity, folks. Quality over quantity. Number 18, the Subaru Crosstrek. A lot of Subarus up here. 17, Grandpa Jeep Grand Cherokee at 154,000 units. These, look, they're nice, but the interior. I don't know if you've ever been in the interior. It creaks like crazy. I don't know what's going on with Chrysler's QC and quality control, but it's been really off. Ford Explorer at number 16.
Yeah, don't bother.
Hey, this also probably includes a whole lot of the police vehicles too, the Ford Interceptors. So they're replacing a whole lot of those across the country. But hey, it's a mainstay of America. It's been here for quite a while. The Nissan Rogue at number 15, 161,000 units. The Hyundai Tucson at 165,000 units. The Chevy Trax at 169,000. The Toyota Corolla still marches on, but it's at number 12 with 179,000, almost nearly 180,000. Hugely popular Spider.
I thought it was higher.
Yeah, it was one of the top selling cars in the world, and then it just started to come down. It's still probably one of the top selling sedans. Not that it's much right now. The Honda Civic at 185,000. Oh, look at that. The Honda Civic is good though. My dad has one that's like almost like, I guess 15 years old at this point. Still goes. Still going.
It'll drive to the moon and back.
Oh yeah. Good cars. These are all good
probably a few
cars.
times.
Speaking of not so good cars, the Chevy Equinox at 203,000 units. I get why people buy it. It has that cutesy crossover look. I wonder how many of these are going to be ending up in piles. Yeah, in the next 10 years. The Toyota Tacoma at 204,000 units. Used to be a good truck, but I wouldn't buy one with the V6 twin turbo. By the way, they recalled another 175,000 of those with the twin turbo V6. So yeah, Toyota's slipping with their trucks over here. Still good stuff if you find a used one. The Model Y with 232,000. I will give Tesla this. I kind of do have to like the new facelift of the new Tesla Model Y and 3. I like that, especially if you see it from the back with that the red strip all the way down. That is pretty cool. I do gotta say.
Guys, I'm home.
Hey, what's up, David?
Okay.
Alrighty.
David.
All right, let's finish this list. Number 7, the Toyota Camry at 234,000 units. Still up there. Number 6, the GMC Sierra, 251,000 units. It's all pickup trucks from here on out, boys. Number 5, the Ram pickup.
Speak of that, Demetrius, I'll be taking Amtrak tomorrow night to Savannah.
Nice. Enjoy the trip, man. Take pictures and post them.
Take plenty of pictures.
Also, I got the memes.
No, I've been providing all the memes.
We've been looking at some of the memes here.
Well, I got a good one.
Well, we'll look at them. We're all trying to finish up this list first, and then we'll go back to the memes. Number 5, the Ram pickup at 262,000 units. The Honda CR-V, my mom has one of these. These are actually pretty good cars. 307,000 units. Look, I'm not a big fan of the crossovers, but if you're gonna buy one that's gonna last. It's probably gonna be a Honda. There you go. Or the Toyota RAV4 at 358,000 units. Wow, we went from 100. Let me see, what was it? We went from 116 to nearly there we go. 358,000. Number 2, the Chevy Silverado at 423,000 units sold. And let's guess what number 1 is. I'm gonna guess it's the Ford F-150, and yes, it is the Ford F-50, the Ford F Series, at 597,546 units.
Wow.
And probably 597,445 of them that have never touched anything in their bed or have never towed anything. But there you go, the most sold truck and the most sold vehicle in America, up 13%.
Always number 1.
It should be the Camry or the Corolla or the Civic. The Camry's at number 7, but anyway, that tells you where this country is going. It's turning into urban warfare out there. The bigger the car. He has a big car. I have a big car too. So yeah, there you go, guys. Top 25 cars, courtesy of Car and Driver. I used to get those magazines all the time, but anyway, alrighty. What else do we got here, guys? What do you want to go over? Let's we'll end this at 10. So let's
look at the meme.
Meme?
Dimitri, look at the meme I just sent.
Yeah, you sent it earlier.
I've seen that.
Wait, which one exactly?
Look at. I did send it now. Look at it.
All right, I'll look at it now. First, Brightline fan put in 22 U.S. states are currently in or at high risk of recession. Yeah, our country's not doing well. Illinois is on there, and West Virginia, most of the Northeast over here. Yeah, that's not good. Alrighty. Oh yeah, we did see that one, David. We did. We saw your meme, David. We saw your meme. We get it.
No, I couldn't talk earlier because I was Uber and I was using a hotspot. Also, I got some short line news. 2 short line articles.
Alrighty. Well, look at that. Here's another meme. UPS tracking your package is in X City, USA, on a truck driven by Bob, and will be at your door at 2:37 p.m.
I got one for the Western New York and Pennsylvania Railroad
David.
with a rental.
Let me speak, David. Let me speak.
One at a time.
Hold on.
Let
Wait.
for more than 5
Let me speak to the people, Piccolo.
Alrighty, so let me finish this thing. FedEx, your package is somewhere. We'll get it to you when we give it to you. Oh man, I've had enough with FedEx in the last 2 weeks. I'm not gonna even get into it, but yeah, FedEx is exactly like that. You tell, okay, yeah, it's gonna be there Saturday. Yeah, sure, Saturday, and then it's Monday. And they need it by Saturday. We need it. Anyway, USPS, what package? Amazon, we are inside your apartment. Oh man, and they know because they also own Ring 2. That's kind of scary. Due to inflation, Jay-Z now has 112.69 problems. Okay, David.
With the inflation that has happened since then, it's probably up above 130 now.
Yeah. Let's see. By the way, I hope nobody is drinking Bud Light here in this club. This is not a no Bud Light in this club. Drink actual beer. Speaking from somebody who's having sarsaparilla tonight, but I gotta just
what? You don't want them to have piss water?
That. Okay.
Nobody wants.
David, which one of these short line articles am I opening? She got a couple here.
But boy, I got a lot to talk about as well.
All right, let's look at this one here. From Class 1 to short line and back. Since 2020, Class 1 railroads have acquired more than 3,000 miles of trackage from short line and regional carriers, some of which they previously owned. All right. March 31st, 2020. Man, that was a long time ago. At this point, Montana's Kalispell branch resembled many of the more than 600 short line and regional railroads across the United States. A scrappy, customer-focused operation using second-hand locomotives to move a handful of cars each day. But the next morning on April 1st, The Mission Mountains Railroad old MP-15 locomotive was parked, and a pair of orange and black BNSF locomotives was making the 13-mile run to Kalispell. What an April Fool's prank they did there. The news that BNSF had taken control of a branch line in Montana, a stretch of track that it had previously operated 15 years earlier, didn't make many headlines in the industry press. However, it marked the beginning of a wave of short line acquisitions by major railroads since 2020. Class 1 railroads have taken over more than 3,000 miles of track, nearly half of which was previously owned by the same railroad. 5 years later, it raises the question, what did they gain from these deals, and are more on the horizon? Yeah, that's not that's not entirely good. This is just further consolidation. I mean, there's one thing where they're having partnerships with the short lines. It's another thing where they're just taking them over. You guys there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep.
Speaking of that, Dimitri, you got the article I sent at the WMYP?
Let's look at that.
The Western New York and Pennsylvania Railroad.
Western New York and Pennsylvania. Let me look at that. There it is. Alrighty. The Black and WNYP ratified contract. Oh, it's out. I'm paywalled here, so I gotta have to fix that anyway. I know there's another way to go about it, but either way, this is my way to do it. Okay, but anyway, while we're waiting for that, anybody else wants to share or comment on anything from this stream or the last week?
I don't know what about the prohibitions last week.
All right. So I just made a satire. Hold on. I'm gonna upload this.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Brightline fan is talking about a satire press release. So for those of you who don't know, I mentioned this a little bit, but Brightline fan sent this to me yesterday. Let me see if I can find the clip over here real quick. But FDOT is looking to go ahead and defund Tri-Rail and could shut down in 2027 because they won't have enough funding, which is absolutely ridiculous and crazy that they would be thinking of even doing that. Let me see if I can find the video real quick, if I can put that on. But yeah, that's not at all good. That's just again, you're throwing in more people onto the roads, which Florida. You want to talk about overcrowded? Florida is beyond overcrowded, beyond overcrowded. It has just gone every time I go there. It has just gone worse and worse and worse. They just
on I-95.
Yeah, no people. I saw an article today that a quarter of Florida residents are looking to leave. Yeah, good. Leave the state for people who belong to the state. If you want to go. I know. It's rich of me to say that, but it's like, you know what? Go. The reason I left Florida has nothing to do with Florida. It's the amount of people coming into Florida, and we don't. For native Floridians, we don't even have we don't have a place to be able to have upward mobility in Florida, which is sad. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's just it sucks. It does suck. To be able to live and work in Florida and to have a family in Florida, if you're someone under the age of 40, is inflatedly difficult. It is playing Ultra Nightmare in Doom difficult. That's what we're talking about. Let me see if I can find what you sent though. Let's see. There we go. Could run out. Tri-Rail funding could run out in 2027 without action, officials say.
All right, I'm back. Okay. Hey, also, Dimitri, didn't you and I would talk about with the New York and Western New York and Pennsylvania Railroad?
Yeah.
That railroad, you've been a heavy Alco use railroad. They used to use a ton of Alco power. And then about 5 years ago, they bought some GE Givos, you know? They literally went from Alco power. Also, so Commonwealth opened new rail bridge over. It's super interesting, but
Let's stick to one. Let's stick to one thing, David. One thing at a time.
All right, a new railroad bridge was just opened.
Okay, which
And
railroad bridge?
Okay, which one?
All right, I'm gonna resend the link. That way you can get it. That way you don't have to scroll up.
Okay, good. Yeah,
All right,
I'll have that.
Here the one.
I'll look at that there. But let's get through this first. What Brightline fans sent. Possible tri-rail shutdown, a major problem for students. There's a whole long video there. I saw this yesterday, but yeah, this is. I mean, tri-rail trains just basically look the same as when I rode on them to commute to work. But yeah, this is something that people do use in Florida a lot more than you think. And it's a nice way to travel, honestly. And it's not. Let's put it this way: amongst more other passenger rail systems and public rail systems, I probably had the least amount of trouble on tri-rail. There was still some little bits here and there, and I've mentioned them a couple times, but a lot less than on the Miami-Dade bus system. But yeah, there you go. Now these students who are using tri-rail to get to school, the Trump says that we don't have talent in this country, but here they go. They're using the trains to go ahead so they can be able to learn. Look, talent is more. I say it's more nature than nurture. For sure. It's like you either got talent, you don't. You have the capacity to learn something, or you don't. And it's just what it is. But look at these people. These kids are going to school, and now they're not going to be able to have that option available because there could be a possible shutdown. So FDOT announced it would cut the money it pays to maintain and operate the railway track for Amtrak passenger, CSX freight trains, and Tri-Rail commuter service. That would leave Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade on the hook to pay tens of millions of dollars to keep the trains running, something Palm Beach County commissioners say they are unable to do. Now, the only thing that this article doesn't mention, and apologies because I haven't looked it up, is what is the reasoning behind FDOT not wanting to fund the maintenance for Tri-Rail?
That's my question. That's a good question.
Yeah. Because, I mean, look, Florida has a surplus budget. I mean, Ron DeSantis has mentioned many times that we have a surplus. Okay, great. Not only should you fund Tri-Rail, you should upgrade Tri-Rail.
I think they're trying to fund more roads. I believe that's
probably, yeah, and that's not just a theory. That's probably one of the most probably one of the more valid points. But let's look at your little press release over here because this ought to be funny. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can actually open
I think I know what
a PDF.
Is.
All right, there you are. There we go. FDOT press release for immediate release data whenever we feel like it. Subject Tri-Rail funding and the brilliant future of South Florida traffic. Is this something that I hope you didn't put this in ChatGPT. I don't blame you if you did. That's a quick way to do it, though. Come on, you did it. You put it in ChatGPT, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's all right. That's all right. No, that's so fun. Look, you might as well look. Use it if it's free. Use it. Use it and use it as much to your advantage as you could, man. Look, the amount of stuff that you can do with them. Hey, I did a video with AI. So I can't be saying anything.
It sounds like you need like a 3-day ban for using ChatGPT.
Oh,
got caught lacking. Caught lacking. Anyway, all right, let's read this. Dear commuters.
It's like we need real jobs, which is why we're giving it to the AI
all right,
and robots.
So this is from the perspective of Florida Department of Transportation from FDOT. Dear commuters, we at the Florida Department of Transportation are thrilled to announce a bold new initiative.
I want to say something.
Making I-95 more congested. Okay, Val, what is it? What is it, Val? You there?
What are y'all talking about?
I-95. They're trying to get rid of the commuter.
Oh, I may not know
how much more traffic it's going to add.
All right. Oh, we still got 2 more people in the audience. All right, Val, go ahead. Go ahead.
5 minutes? No, seriously. I mean, do you think removing the commuter rail would solve everything? No. It's just like you are removing your favorite restaurant just to convert it into a car manufacturer, right? You know, this is the whole point that I know this is a little bit off topic. It's the reason why the country is pretty polluted. The reason why people are crying. The people that will be dependent on. Is that what this news is trying to intense, though, Dimitri?
Sorry, what?
If I was wrong, no. Is this the news about the I-95?
Yeah, we're talking about Tri-Rail.
yes.
Hold on, let me finish.
yeah.
Let me finish
And where's the
readings.
replacement?
Let me finish reading. Brightline fans. Joke press release over
Sorry?
here. Let me finish that, and then you can get back to what you were saying, Val. So let me see. After careful study, and by study we mean looking out the window at rush hour, we've determined that the best way to improve traffic is to cut funding for Tri-Rail from 60 million to 15 million. Because who needs trains, right? Shift all maintenance costs to counties that barely have enough money to run local parks. Ignores the laws of physics and economics because apparently traffic magically improves when you remove commuter rail. Spend billions on highway widenings because clearly adding asphalt solves congestion. Forever. We understand some people might say, but Tri-Rail carries thousands of passengers every day and reduces highway traffic. To that we'll respond, readership is overrated, traffic jams build character. Additionally, we are proud to cancel expansion projects like the Miami-Aventura commuter line because expansion implies progress. And who wants progress anyway? We encourage residents to embrace the thrill of bumper-to-bumper driving, enjoy extra long commutes, and ponder the beauty of endless stop-and-go traffic while we continue our commitment to roads, and more roads. Sincerely, Florida Department of Transportation, because widening highways fixes everything. Probably. That's actually pretty well done, Brightline fan. That I can say that.
Dimitri, I think
that burned down an entire Midwest town to make.
You gotta
Dimitri,
life. Sometimes you gotta sit back.
And I speak that I have not been able to speak for Moteen.
I know that, but there's a lot of other people on here, and then we'll get to you.
I know.
All right. Go ahead, Val.
You gotta
quick.
Sometimes you gotta crack a beer. Just let shit happen.
Yeah, you got it, dump truck.
Val, give me the floor. Val, give me the floor. What we're going to say, I think, Dimitri, I think you need to go back to Florida, and I think you need to go to the meeting and call them out like you used to.
I've been thinking about Florida, especially now with. By the way, guys, hold on,
dude. Because let me be.
Do it.
Listen, as a Florida resident, you cannot mess with Tri-Rail.
Look, as a native Floridian, I don't think you should be messing with Tri-Rail either. But speaking of, so we have this.
Because Dimitri,
it took me like 3 minutes to get
you remember
200 to get across 500 feet. About 5 minutes to get across 200 feet.
That is
because I remember the last
road.
The traffic is getting crazy.
Ironically,
I remember when we went to a last meeting that they had. You got exactly between 3 to 7 people arrested for corruption. I remember that.
That's crazy.
But with that many people getting arrested for corruption, sounds like they need to pull out the pickaxes to start breaking rocks.
Yeah, but by the way, guys, speaking of Florida natives and residents and moving back to Florida, I've been thinking about that, especially with this this new little guy on the way. By the way, here's the picture. His face looks like he belongs like on the face of a coin right there. Look at that beautiful face.
Dude,
so
bills have finally been signed, and now the Department of Justice has to release them.
Yeah, so there we go.
Florida.
Yeah, guys, I'll put the picture on there so you guys can see. But yeah, there's
I'll get you with that.
We're not naming him Demetrius Jr. By the way, he's not going to be. It's now 2025. Nobody cares. That's hilarious.
David, I'm going to take that photo. I'm saving that photo. I'm going to use that photo.
Okay, Darius, you were mentioning something about the H-1B thing. Go ahead if you want, because I know nobody else has talked about it too much here. But go ahead.
Alright. And it happened just a few hours ago. I was in traffic coming back from a store, and it took like 20 minutes to get like 500 feet.
What? We call that traffic.
Yeah. So overcrowded, right?
That's not traffic. That's a character developing position.
Yeah, no, that's not that's not sustainable. I don't know how people can. That's the thing. I don't know how our elected officials can look at that and see that this is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Like the meme with the dog burning into flames. This is fine. No, it's not. This is not how people should be living.
By the way, Demetrius, the population of my home city. Look at the population right here for Charleston from this screenshot.
Man. 870. And that's is that metropolitan Charleston or is that just Charleston?
Metropolitan area.
Okay. What was? Let me ask you something, David. Do you know what the population was of Charleston back in 2000?
It was technically around 400,000.
So you're telling me that the population of Charleston has doubled within almost 25 years? That's
quadrupled.
That's crazy. No, that's great. Look, we're overcrowded, and if you look at our towns and cities, let's bring up Charleston real quick.
And I'm going to say this, they're refusing to build a commuter rail system and a light rail system. They're big enough for both of them now.
They don't want to spend the money to do it.
David, you got to understand. You don't need just 800 people. You need 1 billion people, and then we need to be shopping at Costco. That's what you need. You need 1 billion Costco shoppers.
Come on, man. See, the only way you're gonna get
don't be racist. Have 1 billion commuter shoppers.
Well, Costco is okay, but have you heard of this guy called Sam Walton?
Oh,
he has a club. I hear it's pretty nice.
Oh no!
I actually think Costco is pretty great.
Dimitri, and here's the case.
The Costco hate. I don't like Costco.
Yeah, look, Costco is. I do like the hot dogs and pizza there. That is pretty good.
Dude, you gotta see our Costco. We got the largest Costco in the Midwest.
All right, let's focus in on. If you guys don't stop, I'm gonna zoom in all the way into David's house, and I'm gonna start making like a who noises. Okay. Anyway, don't worry, David, you're safe. Metro is not going to eliminate you like the meme did.
Metro what?
I know.
One of the memes. Show Mel the meme. Show Mel the meme. Anyway, but look at this, guys. This is Charleston over here. Now, I get most of this is probably swampland, which is probably why they haven't built on top of this yet. But look at it. It just sprawls out. Look at that. It's like just sprawling the hell out all the way up in 26. So this is the whole area. So it's just been growing and growing and growing. Okay? It's not. So here's the next largest city in South Carolina is Columbia over here.
The capital.
And then the next closest metropolitan area, well, you have Myrtle Beach over here. And even Myrtle Beach is, look at that. It's sprawling out pretty crazily, too. Look at that. That's nuts.
And
you got Savannah too.
Yeah, but then you have Savannah down over here.
This is what I will say. Like, it's so easy to build a commuter rail system here in Charleston because we already have rail lines that go from downtown into the outskirts in the areas you need them in.
Yeah,
but David, you have to remember the people in charge have like an 80 IQ combined.
That doesn't help BlackRock, David. You need to think of the shareholders, David. Think of those poor shareholders. If we don't have more, think of the shareholders, David.
Screw the shareholders. Screw the shareholders. Screw the shareholders.
Come on, they were so frightened after Luigi did his thing. They need just one more suburb, bro. Just one more, please. We need to build one more suburb, bro. Blackstone just needs it.
But how are they supposed to afford their third yacht?
Oh no! Alrighty.
Oh, by the way, I got a clever meme.
Listen.
Okay, we're at 9:54, guys. I want to see if anybody else who hasn't spoken yet. Star Force 97. Anything you wanna share?
David.
Well, someone's here, so
I
don't really have anything to say. So.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Grand Trunk Line. Anything that you want to share?
There's one positive. Like from my home state of Michigan, the coast-to-coast rail link, which was proposed within a decade, connecting Detroit to Holland via Ann Arbor, Lansing, and Grand Rapids. And they're planning to put trains back in the Michigan Central Station.
Wait, I thought Ford bought that.
Is that Michigan
Wait,
Central
I thought-
Station or Detroit Central Station?
Michigan Central Station.
Wait, I thought Ford bought that.
Well, they are bringing it.
Block that.
Yeah, but they are bringing it back. They did bring it back, so I mean, it is a working. I mean, the
Yes,
tracks
I
are still
know
there.
Ford brought it back. But I'm just saying, like, I thought Ford was against the whole idea of having trains in their backyard.
Man, look at that! Look at the pictures of what it looked like before. That's just an absolute travesty that it even got to that point. That's absolutely horrible.
It is. I mean, it's glad to see that Ford is bringing it back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't think Ford wants trains in their backyard.
I don't think they care, honestly, at this point. But
I don't know. Does
if they do, it's going to be a station ran by them with a very high ticket prices.
It's pretty
going
crazy though.
here.
They did do a good job at least bringing this back. I don't know why they have to keep this. Oh, look, it's funky. Look at the graffiti. No, just get rid of it. This is stupid. Get rid of this damn graffiti. It's ridiculous.
Hey,
but yeah, look at that. Look, this absolutely. Look at that. Originally, not one H-1B built this originally, by the way. So there you go. America before.
Dimitri.
I have a simple solution. We get all those people that commit petty crimes that don't deserve jail time to go there and to scrub off all the graffiti.
There you go.
As a public community service.
Sorry, that actually would fall against the law, as that would technically be slave work.
Well,
and if we're gonna do that, I think if we're gonna do that, we'll just make all the illegal immigrants do that.
I mean, look, we have our own problems here. That's the thing. It's like we already have a whole bunch of people here with our own problems. It's like
We don't have anymore.
it's not right. Why do I have to now learn about what Operation Blue Star is in Khalistan? Why do I have to care? We have our own people with our own problems over here. We need to solve our own here. And so is this this is a whole Lego set? That's cool. They have a whole Lego set of the Michigan Central right in there, guys. So it's there you go. Now,
so
we're all visiting it now just for the Lego set. Oh man, the stupid.
I am a little bit.
I mean, I have family in that area, so I can find a way to visit.
Apparently,
well, we're glad
that the state of Illinois is going to sponsor a Quad Cities intercity train. Woo woo!
So there you go.
I got 2 rail fan memes.
All right.
I got 2 memes.
That was okay. That was good to share Grand Trunk Line. That was good. We went to that was a good. Alrighty.
Both memes are funny.
We'll look at the memes. Adam everywhere. Anything that you want to share, or you good to go?
I think I'm going to go, but I don't really have anything interesting.
We end the night off
now. I got the new trailer that came out yesterday for the Port Authority. But if you want to try that out, but it's kind of short.
All right. You can
Get some R2.
check that out real quick. Let me see. It's just Portal Bridge. Here we go. By the way, I'm still disappointed. Not surprised, but I mean that the Trump administration would kill the project over here, or at least they'll get funding for the Portal Bridge. Cut over to new Portal Bridge. Not the Portal Bridge. I mean, sorry for the Gateway project. Cut over to new Portal Bridge could disrupt New Jersey Transit Amtrak train service for 6 weeks. Well, they gotta. If only they could do it faster, but hey, I get it. It's gotta get done. So hopefully they do it now.
But they got to separate the tracks.
Yeah, they're doing this
they gotta
really.
Change the line.
Yeah, they're doing this really quick. By the way, there's a whole lot of. I mean, quick in New Jersey terms, in context of New Jersey, because wait, we mentioned New Jersey. Hold on, here we go. There you go. All rise for the anthem of New Jersey. There you go. Okay, but speaking of New Jersey Transit and Metro, they're really pushing to do a whole bunch of upgrades, like double-decker trains and a whole bunch of line upgrades. before the 2026 World Cup. I don't know to what extent they're going to be able to get this all done by, but
it would be amazing if they finish.
It'll be a good effort. I'll give them that. It'll be a good effort if they can be able to get it done. I wish we didn't have to be thinking of it, but I mean, yeah. Alrighty.
But everything here is falling apart, so everything has to be
I still
updated.
have something to say about
Read the memes. Read the
Because
sexy
Paul
memes.
Daugherty going to work.
Alrighty. Anybody else? Dump Trucker. Last word. It's 10 o'clock, man. Any
I think I already said what I wanted to say. Hopefully, the state of Iowa hops on board the past intercity rail box.
Alrighty. Okay, guys. I think that ends it right there. We are right there at 10 o'clock.
Wait, let me get Dimitri, let me get what I was about to say done.
Let me speak to the people, Piccolo.
All right, last meme. Go ahead.
I will say this. I will be going to the Georgia State Railroad Museum Friday.
Nice. Yeah, take some pictures, man. We're gonna start doing that again with Railroad Museum spotlights.
I know, but also read the two memes I sent. You know, like one is a rail fan meme, and the other one is a railroad meme.
All right, I'm gonna leave the last two memes, and that will be the end of the stream here, guys. All right, point of view. You got a bird's eye view of foamers fighting over a picture.
All right. So basically, I'm still pretty pissed about FDOT cutting funds for Tri-Rail.
Yeah, that
one thing
is
you mess with one. Yeah, one thing is you can actually shut down a commuter rail line in some other part of the country. That's one thing. Rest in peace, North Star. But another thing is the other thing is you have to mess with Tri-Rail. That's personal. That's very personal.
Well, it's personal to a lot of people. I hate when people say, "Oh, it's nothing personal." No, I mean the people who are riding on Tri-Rail are going to take it personally.
This is coming from a former Broward local who used to live there for like 12 years. I remember riding on Tri-Rail.
Yeah, no, these people are going to take it personally. It's going to be an issue for them, and then they're going to be stuck. Darius, but it took you 20 minutes to get 500 feet. We're on we're losing the plot of what the point of living is. Living doesn't mean that we should be spending inordinate hours of our life stuffing traffic. That's not a way to live. We need to just start having a regular life here in America again. That's what we are.
If you wonder how hell it feels like,
we don't want to be rich, just have a decent life.
Exactly. It's not about being rich or anything like that. Just having decent livable life. Okay, last meme. John, you threw the switch the right way, didn't you? Oh man, it's stuck in between the two tracks. Oh shoot.
Oh god.
Don't try that at home.
Oh man.
A professional on the rails.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, guys. We're going to end it right over there. We appreciate you all for joining on this ride on the American Rail Club. But we are here at the station. Thank you all for coming on board. Yeah, things are getting pretty crappy out there, like we've been saying before. But it's gonna either way is happening. We're still moving forward. Join us next week. We're gonna have a nice pre-Thanksgiving stream on Wednesday. So we will have it on Wednesday. So hopefully you guys will join us then. I hope you all are having a good time. We will see you all next time. Take care and Godspeed.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh,